Hi, welcome to CW Shop Talk here at the Crystal Wand in Gettysburg. Today we have Tracey back and we're going to discuss Spellcraft. She's going to give you a couple of basics on casting your own little spells for the Halloween season. I'm going to let you start with what you want to say.
First thing I would like to discuss is anybody can do spell casting. You don't have to be a witch or, practice Wiccan to cast spells. Basically, spell casting is bringing out the magic that you already have inside of you. So it's basically just using tools that help to bring that magic out. One of the most important things I would like to discuss about spell casting is the moon phases. That can be pretty important. You want to use any spell that you're doing that you want to bring things into your life, you want to do during the waxing moon. And basically the waxing moon is the stage of the moon from the new moon moving towards the full moon. We are actually in the waxing moon right now. Any spell that you want to eliminate something from your life, you want to do during the waning moon. Of course, the stage from the full moon moving back towards the new moon. A lot of people have a problem remembering what's what, so I always refer to the Karate Kid. Wax on, wane off, wax on, wane off. So if that helps you to remember that a little better, good. Basically, spell casting is a great way if you feel you just need a little help with prosperity, or maybe it's love, or anything that you want to bring into your life and you just really want to tell the universe, look, I need a little extra help here. Let's bring it on. And then, of course, banishing spells, things like that you want to eliminate from your life. And we'll discuss that a little bit later. But what I would like to do is show you a few things that we have here at the shop, because there are some spells that you definitely want to stick with the moon phases. But then there are a couple other that we'll go over that the moon phase isn't as important as some of the other spells.
Essentially, when it's waxing, things are growing. That's what the farmers did back hundreds of years ago. You plant during the new moon and the waxing phase when things are going up and the moon is growing in light, because this is what strengthens the spell or the energy by rising. And when it's waxing, the light is lessening. It's waning. That's when you do things that you want to clear out of your life.
Right, exactly. And the new moon also, the new moon itself is also very powerful. I do a lot of my work on the new moon, and I do a lot of my work on the full moon itself. So just a couple samples we'll go over here, and later we'd like to do a YouTube video where I get a little more into depth about each individual spell. But right now we're just going to do some basics. So we do have some money spells, and that includes, you get a little bag of cinnamon, and you get some prosperity oil, and you get a candle. Candle magic's very important to me. I think it's wonderful magic, works almost every time. Get a little money charm to carry with you, and little incense and instructions. This also comes with a chart on the moon phases, so that'll help you with your moon phases as well.
I call these little spell kits for the lazy witch, because
Yes.
you can do these on your own. You can buy all the different ingredients, and if you know what you're doing, you'd make your own up. But if you're just looking for something quick and easy, we're giving you all the ingredients plus the spell, which is essentially the incantation you're using to help build your energy and bring that thing to you.
Yes, and as far as incantations go, feel free to use the words that we've printed out. Feel free to incorporate your own words into what we've already stated, or, come up with your own words completely. Everybody kind of has their own
And any book you get on witchcraft, spells, Wicca, they're all going to give you love
Yeah.
spells. They're going to be 16 different love spells
Yes.
out there and 16 different incantations.
Yes.
It's what feels right to you.
Exactly. And
If
I cannot stress that point enough. It has to feel right for you. If what you're saying to the universe doesn't feel right, if it feels forced, it's kind of like, is the universe going to buy this? You know, you need to feel it. Make sure it just resonates within you. So feel free to change your words up, whatever you'd like to say. Basically, before I start a spell, one of the things I like to do beforehand is kind of prepare myself for it. Get yourself in a nice frame of mind. Whether that's, just listening to some music, take a nice bath, burn,
a meditation, burn some incense, set an atmosphere that puts you in the mood to do this.
Yes, light your candle, whatever it is you like to do to get into that frame of mind where your focus is going to be on this spell. What a lot of people like to do, especially with the oils, anoint everything. I anoint, you name it, myself, my tools, my candle. The smell of the oil just really helps get you into that nice frame of mind.
Yeah,
So,
and anointing it's another way of blessing almost.
Yeah,
I mean, when I
absolutely.
used to go to church as a kid, that's when they anoint you with the oil. The priest does in the Catholic
Yes.
Church. And our oils, it's not that, they're holy. They're anointing oils. They're oils. You can anoint yourself, just put a little over your third eye. I usually say rub it in the palm of your hand till you feel the heat, the
energy.
friction, then you can make that energy ball and throw out with your
Exactly.
intention to the universe.
Exactly.
But like you said, you can anoint the candles, you can anoint your little altar space.
Absolutely. And we had discussed this in one of our previous YouTube about the candle burning. Consecrate your candle, like we discussed, carve your initials into it, a little money symbol if you're doing a money spell. Just prepare it. You don't have to have an altar necessarily, because like I said, you don't have to be witch or Wiccan to do spells. What I would suggest is maybe if spellcasting is something you would like to get into, try to kind of have an area designated.
Yeah.
And mainly because your energy, you're
want a little space that's
the
just
energy,
yours.
right?
That you're...
Exactly. And you're going to start to notice it feels different in that area. You walk into the room that you normally do your spells, or you feel the difference in the energy there.
I know, because for the longest time, where I live now, when I didn't have it filled with stuff, I was using my dining room table as my altar space.
Yes.
And setting things out. But I would smudge the room, and I was always, and it just got to the point where when I would walk into the dining room, it felt peace. I felt the cleansing. I could just feel the positive energy in that room.
Absolutely.
It stays. It's called odic forces. When anything, that's how things are in the Akashic record. Anything can hold on to the energy of a situation or an emotion.
Like a residual.
It's just sort of, the ghosts of residual hauntings. It's like there's an energy that over time will build up and accumulate that reflects your personal power and your personal energy. So it is nice.
Yes.
Even if you use the space for other things, you're using it like the top of a dresser.
Right. Right. Absolutely. In my house, we have a lot of people, animals. There's not a lot of areas for me to do. So my bedroom is basically like my sanctuary. You can walk into my room and it feels different. There's something different about that, and again, residual energy from things that I do in there, all my crystals, whatever. So try to have an area that you can call yours. One thing I would like to really discuss is spells don't always work the way you expect them to work. Prosperity, for example. I've had people, especially younger people, they'll come back and they'll say, well, this didn't work. They didn't win the lottery. Or spells can work in many different ways. If you do a prosperity spell, You could walk down the street and there was a $20 bill laying on the ground, or one of your monthly bills wasn't as high as it normally is, or you got an estimate for something and it came in cheaper than you expected it to. So you have extra money in your pocket that month. There's prosperity.
Yeah.
So things can work.
Abundance comes in many forms.
Yes, exactly. Let the universe do its thing. Trust it to send you what you need and what you're asking for, and look for it. And
Yeah, don't expect to hit the lottery.
yeah.
If it worked that easy, we'd all be
Yeah,
rich. It just gives you what you need. And sometimes if you're lucky, it gives you a little bit more.
Yes.
And it takes a little time. You need to practice. It isn't like you're just going to buy a spell kit, do the spell, and bang.
Yeah.
But it does help if you keep focused on it.
Absolutely.
When I used to have hard times years ago, what I would do is I would visualize money coming in to me I would just see it rolling up the hallway from my apartment, coming up the steps just like in a little whirlwind.
Yes.
I had it coming in the windows, the bills. I had them just coming down the chimney. I would envision my whole apartment just got filled with hundreds and thousands of dollars. Now, I never got hundreds of thousands, but I did get what I needed that month.
Yes.
I got the money to pay the rent. I got the money to pay the bills. I sold another job and I made a good profit. It kept, whenever things were down, if I would do this visualization on the money spell.
Yes. Visualization is absolutely. And again, just like with the wording of your spells, visualize.
Oh yeah. You need to
you.
visualize and think about it. Really, that's part of the focus.
I sometimes, with prosperity, I will close my eyes and envision it is literally raining gold and silver. Whether it's coins or whatever, it's just gold and silver raining down. So, and that's the universe giving me what I asked for.
See, two different people, two different ways of looking at it. I got money blowing in like a whirlwind, and she's got gold and silver raining down. Whatever's natural to you, or however you visualize it, that's
exactly. When you cleanse things, for example, another form of visualization. When I cleanse my crystals, for example, I visualize a chalkboard and there's scribble written all over that chalkboard. Well, it's not my writing, it's somebody else's writing. So while my crystals are being cleansed, I visualize wiping that chalkboard clean. And then once it's clean, I write on that chalkboard in my mind what each stone is supposed to do for me. So again, she, I'm sure, visualizes something different when she's cleansing. So whatever works for you. Before you start any kind of spell, and I would say pretty much anything in the metaphysical world, always protect yourself. Always just, put that nice bubble of white light around you. If you're, into protection stones, you have your tourmaline, your tiger's eye, whatever, keep your protection with you. Just kind of set up your little protection zone in your area that you're doing your spells in. Mainly I just saging, I usually always sage before I do anything. And then
just want to cleanse the area of any negativity that might be lingering from whatever. And you can say a prayer, a simple prayer.
Absolutely.
You can do a prayer you remember from childhood, or you just make it up and ask your guardian angels or your guides or the spirits or Jesus, whoever.
Saint Michael, whoever.
To watch over and protect you during this ritual and help to make it real.
Exactly. So, when you get into certain spells, like love spell, for example, we're going to talk about this one next. It's, if you feel like, you're looking for that soulmate or that one love in your life, a partner, again, trust the universe to send what you need. A lot of times with a love spell, people become obsessed about one particular person. And all of their energy and all of their focus goes to that one particular person. First of all, be careful what you ask for. You might just get it. Second of all, be careful messing with anybody's free will. That is a no-no. Always keep the golden rule in mind. If you don't want anybody doing this to you, don't do it to them. So it's perfectly okay to do a love spell. If you have somebody in mind, think of it as, if that's the one for me, then get the universe to send that person to me. But if not, send me the person that's right for me. So just, be careful with the whole messing with the free will.
Yeah,
thing.
because just because you're die hard in love doesn't mean they are.
Yeah.
And for you to try to make them love you, it isn't going to work. It always, it
and
always
why?
boomerangs.
Yeah.
Number one, it's not a good thing to do. You can't force love.
No.
What the love spells are going to do is they're going to help set up a situation where you can run into that person or have an encounter, so that if it's real and it's meant to be, it will be. There will be an interaction.
Right, absolutely.
It's not going to make them love you no matter what
Right.
it says.
Exactly.
It might get them to call you. You might run into them somewhere unexpected and get to talking, set up a date.
Yeah.
But it's not going to make them
Right.
love you. Nothing does.
Right.
That's like if, everybody was a zombie and you could just control
Yeah.
them. Or
And why would anybody want that? I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to be with someone that doesn't really want to be there. So everybody deserves
And
better than
everybody
that.
has their own
So,
psychic self-defense. We already have a natural cocoon around us. People, it's
Yeah.
like voodoo. The only time voodoo really works is when you believe they got you by it.
Right.
But if you don't believe in it, it's not going to affect you as much.
Right.
Because it takes a lot of energy to break into your auric field or your spiritual field
Yes.
and do something
Yes.
bad.
Yes.
I know people say they can do it, and I don't deny that some people can.
I know.
But that's really bad juju, and you don't want
Yeah.
to do that. And it's like, even if you think you're making them love you,
Right.
it's not going to work right.
No. And you deserve better than that. Everybody deserves better than to try to force somebody to love you.
You're better off going
Yeah.
for a general love spell for the person who's right for you,
Absolutely.
asking the universe to
Yes.
send you someone. I used to, before I met Dan, it was like, okay, I'm ready now.
Mhm.
I'm ready. I'm not desperate, I'm just ready, and this is what I want. I want somebody with a car newer than mine.
Right.
I want them to be honest. I want them to be ethical. I want them
Yes.
to be nice. I want them to be preferably dark hair. And
Right.
I just set up the things I wanted.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The universe sent me
Yes.
husband number 3.
See? Yes. And that's exactly what these spells will do. They'll present an opportunity for you. Then again, once the opportunity is presented to you, it's still up to you to do something with the opportunity. So it's kind of like the old joke, people sitting on their roof waiting for God to save them.
Yeah.
Finally, God's like, I sent you 3 boats.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I
So
remember that
so
one.
just watch the free will thing and just trust the universe. And like Kathy was saying, even after the spell is finished, and don't start putting doubt out there. That's a big mistake a lot of people do. You're asking the universe to help you with this, send me love, send me prosperity, whatever it may be. And then the minute you're finished, you're like, oh yeah, well, that's not going to work. Well, don't do that. Don't doubt the
You just
universe.
canceled
You're
yourself.
yeah, you pretty much did. Everything you just did, you just knocked it out. So a lot of our spells will come with kind
A
of like
charm
a little charm
if
bag,
it's
a reminder.
appropriate for that.
Exactly. Keep it with you. Keep it on your person. Little herb bags. Just if you're starting to feel a little down about it, take a good whiff of your.
As long as you're
just
not
a
allergic to
reminder.
herbs.
Yeah.
I know a lot of
Oils.
people are. It's like, be a little careful. The herbs and the oils, if you're heavy have high allergies, these are not things you want to mess with. Stick with a simple candle.
Exactly. So our prosperity spell, our love
Well, you can
spells,
show them
things
some
like
of the
that.
stuff, but yeah, because with the
that
love
one,
spell
you get
comes
2
with,
candles, and again, you carve
this is
your
a love
initials
knot
in one.
spell, I think, isn't it? It has the knot you tie or love interest.
Love interest. Yep. So it's kind of like a binding type thing. You bind yourself to, that special person. But again, even with the candles, if you're going to carve initials into the candles, carve your initials into one, but then maybe leave the other one up to
What the
one that's
universe
right
is.
for you. Yeah.
You can put their name on it and see what
yeah,
happens,
yeah,
but it'll
exactly.
more likely just bring an encounter. It's not going to make them, mysteriously in love.
Right, exactly. So you get some dead sea salt, you get some herbs, and again, instructions to tell you exactly how to do the spell, words, change them around if you feel better about that. So yeah, the love spell, money spell, things like that, those are the ones you want to do during the waxing moon, because you're bringing that into your life. It's something you want to bring in. We have other spells. Again, we were talking about earlier, the banishing spell. This is the one you would want to do during the waning moon, because you're trying to eliminate things from your life. Now, here's where it can be a little tricky. I've had customers come in and I'll hear them say, I'm going to get that banishing spell and I'm going to banish so-and-so and I'm going to, be careful with that. The point of a banishing spell is not to banish somebody off the earth or to banish, so that you're not destroying harm. Yeah. You're banishing their negativity from your life. So it's all about you. It's not them, it's you. You don't want that person, you can't deal with them anymore. So a lot of times what will happen is, I've noticed people, they'll do something like this and then their neighbors don't bother them the way that they used to, or the coworker that was bothering them.
Yeah, or the boss that was always on their case. Yeah, they're backing off.
Right.
It's more or less you're putting a shield up around yourself that's going to keep all that crap out of your out of your personal space.
So then you're not harming anyone.
You're just putting a fence up.
Exactly. You are. You're putting your own barrier up. Absolutely. And that bubble of white light we talked about, turn that bubble into a mirrored bubble in a situation like this. If you're around people, you don't want to, pretend that bubble has a mirror, so then it's a reflective surface. So like any
mirror balls from the disco age, you're in the middle of it, and it's all about I like that. That's exactly that. So that's a good visualization.
Yeah, it'll just come right back to them, whatever they want to throw out.
Yeah, then they can deal with it.
Exactly. This banishing spell comes with purification bath salts. This is something to use to prepare yourself ahead of time for the spell. Again, you want to be in that nice frame of mind. You don't want to do a banishing spell if you're full of anger. It's okay to be emotional because you want that emotion to really let the spell know,
you're
serious business here. But at the same time, don't let your emotions get the better of you. So try to keep your anger in check if you're doing a banishing spell. And just, keep that in mind. This is about me. This is about protecting me. I don't want to harm that person, even though that can be tempting at times. So keep that in mind. Same way with the, the love spell. Like we said,
Some of the spells kits come with bath salts. We've been getting away from it a little bit because half the people in the world shower.
Yeah.
But if you're into the bath, soak. Relax. That's why I'm a bather. I like to soak and relax and light a candle. And the bath salts, you just pour them. We give you a little organdy bag. Pour the salts into the bag so that it keeps all the herbs from going down the drain and clogging up your mind. Yeah.
Right,
People don't. It's like stop and think. You don't want crap in your drains. It's expensive.
Yeah.
Pour it into the bag. Tie the bag off so that it doesn't spill out. Throw the bag in the water. The salts will dissipate into the water. The herbs, the influence of the herbs is in the water, but they're in that packet, so you don't have to worry about them draining away. Or hang it over your shower head and let it come down on top of you.
You can even pour the salts in the bag, like she was saying, and then just leave it at the drain. Because then all the hot water will kind of, steam up.
Oh, well, then the water, you can just envision the water is washing away your negativity and going through that filter to the drain.
Exactly. Foot soaks.
Some people just about the foot soak. I forgot about
do a foot soak. If you know anything about reflexology, I'm a firm believer in reflexology. I don't know if you know, when your feet are cold, you're cold. When your feet are tired, you're tired. So give yourself a nice foot soak and imagine all that purification salts and herbs traveling from the bottom of your feet up into your body. Relax, just, completely prepare yourself for this spell. Try to do it during a time when you're not going to be interrupted. And I know if you're a mom or a dad and you got dogs and cats and life gets in the way. But see if you can,
Close
carve
the
out
door.
20 minutes. Yeah, at least 20 minutes to just give yourself a little bit of that
Space.
time. Yes, exactly. So there are a few spells that, I don't know if I'd call them spells so much as little things you can do. You don't necessarily need to worry about the moon phases for these. One would be lucky changes. You can, definitely it would be better to do it during the waxing moon. However, if you just feel like, oh, I can't wait for the next moon phase, I got to bring some luck into my life. This one you can do pretty much any time.
Because mostly it's carrying the lucky charms.
Yeah,
It's got
carrying that,
charm
little
bag
oil,
and a
carry the
door.
oil around with you. If you're like driving and like you're seeing, oh my gosh, I can't just take your oil. Like she said, your third eye, So this can be done whenever you feel you need some lucky changes in your life.
Yeah, and it's not so much a ritual as it is just charm bags for your doors.
Yeah.
I put them over I have charm bags on all my doors in my house going,
absolutely.
and protection, prosperity.
Yep. Yeah. Scrying kits we have. Now this is basically for people that want to try to focus and meditate. Scrying is basically, and I'll show you what a seer stone is. It's a crystal, basically a crystal.
Usually used for divination. When you're scrying, you're looking into something and seeing visions.
Yes. So
these here, I'll show them that again, because these here, a crystal ball that everybody loves to have, those things cost, if you've got a real one, it's going to cost you, and it's like this size, you're looking at close to $1,000. Little crystal balls like this are running $70 and $80. But you can use a gazing ball, which is nothing but a glass ball, a crystal glass ball. And these quartz stones, if you really want to use it, like she was showing you, see, they just polished half of that rock. We call them river rocks, Emma stones, seer stones. You can use these to focus.
Yeah.
The same thing as a black mirror. It's like you said, you paint the back of the mirror black, or a black bowl with water in it.
Yes. I'm sure you've people seen scrying mirrors, black obsidian, things like that. A big thing that we hear a lot in here is that people can't meditate. I've tried. I can't meditate. I've tried. First of all, meditation can be extremely hard. It's really hard to shut everything out. Keep practicing. The thing with meditation, you don't necessarily have to completely shut everything out. If you can just quiet the mind, even if it's for 5 minutes a day, you will notice after a while, oh my gosh, what a difference this is making in my life. And then it'll get easier and easier as you keep doing it. And then eventually you get to the point, it's like, oh my gosh, you can kind of tune things out.
And the thing is, you do it with the breathing. You just focus on your breath. Once you start focusing on your breath, in 1, 2, 3, 4, hold 1, 2, and out. When you're doing that, after a couple times, you're not thinking of anything else because you're too busy counting in your head the numbers, and eventually that just gets boring, and you just let it go naturally, and then you.
Yes.
There's 100 different videos out there on meditation. If you don't know anything about it, look one up. Buy a book on meditation. They're all going to tell you the same thing. They're counting those breaths in, they're holding, they're releasing, and it's simple enough to do, and it does. It clears the clutter.
It really does, yeah. And I think that's one of the good things with like the seer stone. It gives you something to focus on to try to keep your mind on that one particular thing. Whether, like she said, it's a crystal ball or a mirror or something, the scrying stone, it'll kind of help to keep your focus and concentration on one thing. Until eventually you will notice, wow, this is easier. I don't even really need the tools anymore. Some people are lucky enough they can just boop, and they're gone. They're in a meditative state, and it took them like 1 second, and the world can be going crazy around them. Doesn't matter. They're gone.
Yeah, and the focus, it's just teaching yourself to focus.
Yes,
because focus is everything, and you're not going to see visions in the stone. It's not like in TV and the movies where you see
crystal ball. Right.
The vision's in your mind. It's in your mind's eye.
Yes.
It's psychic vision. This is just a focal thing, and some people do project the vision, and most people just get it in their brain. It's like if you close your eyes, you'll see it, but when you open them, you don't.
Yes.
It's kind of hard to explain. You're not just going to be sitting there, and if you stare at that stone long enough, you'll see moving pictures. That's not usually the way it works.
Right, exactly. So once again, going back to that visualization word,
We're going to have to.
there's so much visualization. So yeah.
So this is just sort of an introductory part 1 into Spellcraft, and like she said, we're going to do another one next week, and you're going to give them a little more in-depth
We'll
instruction
take each
and
spell
talk about
individually and kind of do some, we'll do some mock spells just to give people a visual idea of what's actually happening. With spells and things like that.
Well, we're getting ready for Halloween here at the shop. Good Lord. I just went out and got all the candy ordered. Now all we got to do is bag it. We'll be giving it out later in the month. Couldn't do it for the whole month. I'm getting ready to move, and it's like way too many things going on here. But, and we're going to be putting something on sale by the end of the month, too.
Mm-hmm.
Karen had suggested Dowsing Rods. I have to make them first, because if they start moving too fast, it takes time. I got to get down there and start chopping and cutting and grinding. But I think we're going to do sage. Something with the sage and something with the dowsing rods here in another week. Anyway, if you're in town, pop in, say hi.
Yes.
Check out our Halloween decorations.
Yes. And we're here to answer any questions anybody may have.
And we've got readings we have 2 readers now. We have Lisa, who does mediumship, where she talks to the spirits for you. And animal communication. She actually can tune in or tap into your animals. All you have to do is show her a picture on your phone or a photograph.
An animal that you have now, or an animal
that's passed, or if it's lost,
Yes.
sometimes she can help you. Not every time, but sometimes she can help find them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have Christine, who's excellent. She's a tarot card reader, and she does pretty good readings. They both charge $30 for like a half-hour session thereabout. And one of them's taking Venmo now and something else. I don't know. Call and ask. Yeah. If you want an appointment, please call the shop, because right now we are getting geared up for the Halloween season. And some days they're totally booked. Other days they have several openings. We just always suggest an appointment. They'll take walk-ins when they're here, and it's availability. And Halloween week especially, you want to make sure if you're coming to town, save your spot if you want a reading.
Yeah.
And I guess that's it.
Yes.
For now, until next week.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.